what was that process like for you? Like finding your voice, finding your agency? Because, when you start rapping at 12 and then you have an album out at 16, I imagine your process was a lot different than maybe some artists who are a little bit older. So how did you come into your own from just being able to be your own advocate?
I think once I moved to Los Angeles, so the record label back on the East Coast, and I decided that I was going to go after acting. It gave me a lot of time by myself. It also gave me a lot of time to stretch out, get my own attorney. I think, I had been appointed an attorney earlier on in life. So it gave me a chance to really choose for myself. And with that came a level of vulnerability that I was able to show to the new people that I was working with, so that I could actually learn what I didn't know the first go round. And my first manager was great. He was able to, he built MC Lyte. Like, it's because of all the work that was done during the first 13 years of my career that I was able to persevere and keep moving, and people even cared and wanted to do business with MC Lyte. And then I spent 13 years with another manager who helped to, as much as he could, to push and further my career and open doors in other areas. And now I'm with, who I think will probably be my last manager, because it's her, but it's the team. So I'm a part of my own management team, which I think was the part that was missing throughout the years, is making those decisions, seeing what's before us ahead of time, and just being privy to what's happening while it's happening and not after.
Mm. How is the landscape? Because you have you have an album that's coming out next year, correct?
I do. It's called
Yeah.
The Pastor and the Poet,
Yeah.
and we're looking at spring. And the first single is Woman, which we're going to drop during Women's History Month. So we're excited about that. It's just an ode to women. And, one of those songs that after we did it, we like, oh, this should drop during Women's History Month.
Mm.
My COO is a marketing and branding person, so immediately she felt it and figured out where it should go within the schedule. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
That tie-in always works, but what is sort of recording music and putting out music at this stage in your career feel like?
Only something you want, and it just so happens The Pastor and the Poet is, this is a record produced by my pastor. He is Warren Campbell, a lovely guy. We became tighter once Heavy passed. Heavy was sort of our link. So whenever I would go to the studio, he and Heavy would be there. Whenever I would meet them wherever, meet Heavy wherever, Warren was with him. And it just so happens that Warren was also an A&R at the label that I was with, but I wasn't assigned to him. I was assigned to Merle and Bob, but I knew he was a part of the team. So we always was in the same circles, but when we lost Heavy, we found a commonality between us, and that was our love for our brother. And once we started talking, it was like, oh, we talk about the same stuff. Like, it would be as if I were talking to Heavy. And so we decided to just go in the studio, see what we could come up with. And there's lots of inspirational music. And I'm not about to just say anything today. And I need a producer who will respect that and not push me to try to say something that's out of character or just something that I don't want to say. And so we're both giving each other the freedom to do what we love. And there is the record, The Pastor and the Poet.
Your relationship with Heavy, you guys were close. How did you all meet?
I'm sure it was at Latin Quarters or somewhere like that.
Okay.
I don't, or Union Square. I do remember seeing him perform at a club uptown, and he did Mr. Big Stuff. Was that that was the first
I think that was the
single of
first
his,
single.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that was, oh, was it? No, yeah, Overweight Lover in the House came later. It was
Yeah.
Mr. Big Stuff. Yeah.
So, what was it about your relationship? Why did you all click?
Well, he was just my brother, you know. He would call me up. We would talk for hours at a time. He just felt like home. You know, he felt like somebody I grew up with, who you can be on the phone without a purpose, or the purpose is just to connect. It wasn't like, oh, we got to talk about this and then we're gone, or oh, we got to address this thing and then we're out. It was really just a free flowing conversation, which I have with many people. You know, Scratch is like, DJ Scratch is that to me. Pete Rock is that to me. Chuck is that. Dougie Fresh, I mean, you know Dougie, hey, it's dangerous. Our teams hate to see us see one another because they know wherever we are, stop, drop, and roll. We're about to talk for 3 hours straight. It always happens without fail. But yeah, those are some of my brothers in the business that want to look after me and make
Mhm.
sure I'm good.
Speaking of hip hop legends, I read that is it true that it was Biz Markie that convinced you to start DJing?
Absolutely, yeah. We
Mm.
saw one another in an airport, and he was like, "What's up? When you gonna start?" And I was like, "Me? What? What do you mean?" He said, "Lyte, you know music," because we would go back and forth with melodies and "Zin, zin, 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 zin." And you're like, "What is that?" Or, Mr. Goodbar, you know, like we would be able to go back and forth on records and who did them and what year they came out, and he was always astonished by my knowledge of music. And he said, "Why are you wasting that? Come on, people just want to see you curate a night. What would you put on? They want to be in the midst of what MC Lyte would put on. It's not about scratching and all of that for you. You don't have to be that type of DJ." And I said, "Okay." And he told me what to go buy, and I bought it. And then he and Cool V sent me my first library of music, and I've been building upon that ever since.
How big was that library?
Oh, I don't even know, but it touched every genre. And you know, remember when the CDs were coming a spool? And so it was like about this high with CDs, and each CD had, you know, however many songs, an hour, you know, how many could go on there for an hour, and it had every genre. So I came out with house and reggae and hip hop and old school hip hop and dance music, and it was loaded.
Yeah. What kind of deciding to do DJing, like what kind of, I guess, opportunities, or how did that sort of expand your career?
Oh man, it gave me a lot of opportunity because suppose I was in a city performing, I wouldn't go back for however long because I had already performed there. Oh, but now we can have her DJ. Let's have her come DJ, and then maybe I'll do a number or two while I'm on. And then, of course, I'm in this new world of being able to express myself with everybody's song, not just my song. But now I get to dive in, and I could play Stevie Wonder, and I can play Lionel Richie, and you know, I could just go there. And so that's why I enjoyed it so much, is it didn't require a performance per se.